Look at my toe.
Yeah, it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. Hey, can you lay down, Apache? All right. Okay, and welcome everybody to the daddyDANK podcast. This is episode 3. I'm your host, Frank Davalos, and with me today is an extra special guest, one that has been requested since the elevator days. You know, I guess I've only known you for a little over a year.
So
something
dumb.
like the one, the only, the incredible, the beautiful, the hilarious Hope Alexis Ambrose.
Hello.
Hello. So for those of you who don't know, Hope is my partner.
Thought you were gonna say roommate.
Yeah, essentially she's my roommate. No, Hope is my girlfriend. She's the mother of my child, and she is really just an all-around beautiful human being. And I'm very excited to have you on the podcast because literally people have been asking about you since like early elevators, like literally last March.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
pretty crazy. Okay, so one thing that I thought that we would do just to kind of kick it off, break the ice. Not everyone is comfortable chatting on the old pod, so to break the ice. Also, it's going to be a little chaotic right now. Hope has Brett on her nipple as we're doing this podcast. My dog Apache's in the room laying down, and Sophie's in the room laying down.
Oh, Sophie's not your dog?
Oh, Sophie's my dog as well. You know, broken homes. It is what it is. Okay, so I guess let's just start by explaining our story so that it gives context into all of the questions that we were asked on Instagram. So
Okay.
I'll let you do that.
No, I don't know what to say.
Okay, so when did we meet around?
November 2018.
November-ish, yeah. And we pretty much hot and heavy right away. I had just kind of come out of a kind of tumultuous relationship, and she was kind of wild and crazy, and it just sparks were flying.
Instagram sparks were just flying.
Instagram, pew, 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 pew. And so yeah, obviously things got started a little quick. So essentially what happened was we met in November, pretty much hung out like all the time, from like towards the end of November all the way through December, and then Hope had to go to Kelowna for a practicum. Can you not touch me with your disgusting feet? Oh my god, those are fucking savage. And so she went to Kelowna for a practicum, and she was there until April, so we kind of had like this weird honeymoon phase, long distance relation. And
no one's gonna know that we talk like that either.
Yeah, we have our own special language in the house. But yeah, we had kind of like a long distance like honeymoon phase relation until April, and then in early April I took Hope to Mexico for like a little romantic getaway, and essentially, long story short, we had, you know, copious amounts of unprotected sex.
Oh, can we not say that?
Okay, sorry. We made love
Oh, that's worse.
under the moon. You're right, that is worse. No, we had a lot of sex. It was a very romantic week. It was one of the most romantic weeks of my life. And it was just us two. It was that I had won this trip at my previous job. It was a luxury boutique resort, so 5-star, literally like way too fancy for us.
Yeah, it was bougie.
It was so fancy that like Hope didn't like any of the food.
And they're all like 80-year-olds, and then it was just me and you.
Yeah, and so essentially it was like we were the youngest, and it was just like we felt alienated on the place because like we were just so damn young. And so it was romantic. We had a little like honeymoon pool or hot tub. We thought it was a hot tub.
It was.
We thought it was like the rooms were so beautiful. I remember when we got in there, we were both just like, "Holy fuck, this is crazy!"
It was like
we instantly just ripped off each other's clothes and just fucking went after it. Anyways, but there was there was like this little hot tub thing that we were excited. We thought it was a hot tub, but it turns out they just fill it with a hose of cold water, and you have a cold tub. So it was strange. Anyways, so yeah, that is where Brett was conceived. This was early April, like April 1st was when we went on the trip. And this was only about 5 months into literally not just our relationship, but knowing you. And it wasn't until we got back to Canada. Hope went back to Kelowna to finish out her practicum, and then I went back to Regina. And towards the end of the month, I was planning on flying to Kelowna to come pick up Hope, and then we were going to drive back together. And the day before I flew, Hope decided, hey, my boobs look pudgy. I'm going to go buy 2 pregnancy tests and just send you the positive results on a picture at 11:30 p.m. the day before you're flying. And so that's literally what happened. The Thursday night before I flew on the Friday, I got a text at 11:30, and Hope had taken 2 pregnancy tests. They were both positive, and she sent them to me. And this was 2 weeks after I had found out that I had got accepted into a master's program where I was supposed to be moving to China for the master's program. So I had sort of had like this whole vision of what the future kind of looked like. And that kind of came to a halt pretty quickly. What do you think about when you took those pregnancy tests?
Well, I realized it was Thursday, and I was supposed to get my period on Monday, and I was like, oh my gosh, like could just be a coincidence, but who knows? I'm not on birth control, so I don't know when I'm getting my period. And then, took some pregnancy tests, and I read it wrong. So I was like, oh, no, I'm not pregnant. And then I looked at the box and, how it shows you what pregnant actually is. And I looked at the thing, and I was like, oh, my God, okay.
How did you feel in the moment?
I don't know. I just couldn't, I don't know. I, was very surprised. You think it's never going to happen to you. I don't know.
Yeah, that was my first pregnancy scare. Of my life.
Well, I still don't believe you about that.
There was a couple lying bitches who just said.
What if they listen to this podcast?
No, they did it as either a joke or to get something. It wasn't
I would never joke about that.
I know, but some girls are crazy, man. Okay, so how did you feel though when you got it? My reaction. Explain my reaction.
You were not happy.
No.
Oh, sorry, Brett's gonna.
It's okay. She can cry. You can pass me.
She needs to be burped.
This is going to be a chaotic podcast, but I thought, why not? I thought, why not just make it chaotic? Because that's really what our life has kind of been. Hey, baby. Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh, hi.
Here.
Oh, hi, sweetie. It's okay. She can puke on me.
Oh,
it's okay.
Pass her back. Pass her back. Her boobs out.
Just passing babies. All right, sorry, and we're back. I'll cut some of that out. So yeah, just explain to me my reaction from your perspective, because okay, you first, and then I'll.
I just remember I sent you the picture, and then you didn't answer right away. So then I called you, and I was like, "Did you get my picture?" And you were like, I don't even remember. You didn't say anything for so long. And I was like, oh no, he's stroking out or something.
No, I mean, I had never felt a shock like that before. I can honestly say I was in shock. It wasn't, it was like a complete shock, because that's the last thing you think about that would happen, even though I know we weren't being very safe. And
why were we so dumb?
We're so dumb.
But now we have Brett.
Yeah, and now I'm a huge proponent of unprotected sex. So, but I just remember being so absolutely floored at the news, because I had just got this amazing news 2 weeks before that I was leaving to China or leaving to wherever, and I was just I was completely just caught off guard by it. And then essentially when I got I don't know. It was like at first I was, I don't want to say bummed. I was just like, I felt like when you told me, you were like, you had excitement in your
I was
veins.
excited.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like the first kind of phase of my feelings towards it was like process mode. Like, okay, fuck, I am not really in a place economically to have a kid. I am going to China. I don't know. I had just met this girl. What's everyone going to think of me? It was like in looking back in hindsight, it was all stupid, like thoughts.
Yeah, I didn't think any of that.
Yeah, I just couldn't slow my mind.
One of the things I did think was about your school, because like you were planning to go. We were planning to go to Vancouver, and then you were going to go to China, and I was like, well, I can't bring a baby to China.
Yeah. We initially we tried to act like we were somehow going to be able to bring a newborn to China. Yeah. Good thing, those coronaviruses. Just kidding. No, but and so obviously my first instinct was to just run away, go to Portugal, go to South Africa, somewhere really far away, and just let you kind of become a mother on your own, and just deal with the thing yourself. No, of course that's not true. But I was scared because we had just met. Like, we barely knew.
Literally.
Like, the thing is like we knew each other well because we spent so much time together, and also the long distance relationship forced us to kind of talk more. Or maybe not forced us, but like allow. I don't know. It was what we had, right? But fuck, it was just like so new, and like I never thought I was gonna be a dad, and now here I am, April, ready or not ready, but just found out I'm gonna be a dad.
Not ready in April.
No, but then moving forward, I think like once I accepted the news, the other shitty thing that people don't really talk about is having to like fucking keep a secret for like 3 months. That was shitty the whole time because you're just
only
lying.
Only you can be excited and like you want to share it with other people.
Yeah, we went to Palm Springs and you couldn't drink, and we were trying to fucking make up excuses the whole week of why you couldn't drink.
What did we even say? I don't even remember what we said.
We pretended like you were really sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, and we had to do that for like 2 or 3 months. So I had to fake.
It was until like, no, I told your mom.
On Mother's Day.
When's Mother's Day?
Like
even? I don't know. I'm an orphan, so.
Oh yeah. I guess that's now that you just mentioned that. Hope is an orphan, so there's that. And weirdly enough, I feel like that's. I don't want to say that's what attracted me to you. I have an orphan fetish. No, but like I feel like because you're quite a bit younger than me. Most girls your age I don't find attractive because of the maturity level. Because I can't have conversations with them. They don't like understand. I don't know. Maybe it's just in my head. I'm sure if you're 23 and you're listening to this, for sure relax. It's not everybody. But I feel like with you, I just instantly sensed like a level of maturity, and I'm sure it stemmed from you having
being an orphan?
Yeah. Well, your dad died when you were 2.
Yeah, so it doesn't really count.
No. Well, yeah.
Well, no, because I have a dad.
Yeah, you have a stepdad. But your mom died when you were 17.
Yep.
Which is quite a heavy thing to go through, especially at such a formative age. I feel like that has probably had a profound impact on you, but like I just from a man hunting its prey perspective.
Ew.
I just sensed that you would just be kind of a strong, independent woman, and I was right. Yep, I was right.
Don't pass me my beer.
Yeah. While she's breastfeeding. But I think that the period when I started to get excited and really feel pumped about being a dad was once we finally told everyone at our birthday. Oh, another fun fact. We have the same birthday, June 8th, 1990 for me, almost 30 years old, and 1996 for Hope.
Need to think about that.
6 years difference. I just couldn't remember which one you were, so There's been so
You're
many.
so
I've had so many
dumb.
girlfriends. So it's just kidding. But yeah. So once we told everyone at our hey, sit down, Apache,
Patchy, sit.
lay down.
What's his ish?
Once we told everybody at our birthday, I feel like that was when I started to be like, okay, everyone knows.
People like didn't believe it. Like I remember like telling, I don't even remember what I said, but
It's fucking unbelievable.
but
though.
like Stephanie was like, what? Like I like remember her face the most of everyone else.
You should have seen my face.
Yeah.
But
like I remember, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I remember like telling your grandma when we went to Burger Cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Like that seems so long ago.
It's fucking crazy.
And then like obviously we remember your mom and Dave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were like, Dave, my stepdad, I guess. It's always weird to say that when you're 30. But he was just like, shut up.
Really?
Really? Like, kind of the reaction. That's how I pictured everybody reacting. But to be honest, the reaction from all our friends and family was awesome. It really made me feel like
It helps
way
you be
better.
more excited.
Yeah. Like the first person we called was that weekend when I went to pick Hope up in Kelowna. We called my brother, Tony, co-host of the Elevators podcast. Plug. And I was fucking, at this point, I was literally shitting my pants. I was horrified.
And
like,
you were so scared.
oh, I was so scared. I was like, my life is fucking about to change and I'm scared to tell anyone about it. And then when I told Tony, I don't know why, but I instantly went to like, everyone's gonna be mad
yeah,
mode.
that's what I was gonna say. It's like you felt like he was gonna be mad at you.
Yeah, or like just like disappointed. Not even mad. Disappointed, like the
you're
worst.
16 or something.
Yeah.
You're like 30.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I didn't think of it like that because like I feel like I've always been looked at as like that 16-year-old who's just irresponsible and so when I told Tony, his immediate reaction was like, fuck yeah, man, like I'm gonna be an uncle.
Yeah, he was happy.
Yeah, of course he made it about him, but that's just kidding. But yeah, he made me feel so much better about the situation. And then, you know what? We spent the next 6 months with a very pregnant Hope. We did a lot of cool things. We went to Ottawa for what they call a baby moon. I don't know if you guys know about this, but explain to the people what a baby moon is, because to me it's...
A baby moon is like your last vacation before you have the baby. So it's like your last time, just you and your whoever.
Is this like a new thing?
Oh, it's not a new thing. I don't know where I heard it from, but I always knew it was a thing.
How come all the old people I tell about our baby moon are like, what the fuck is a baby moon?
Because old people...
Hey, careful now.
I hate old
I'm
people.
30.
You're not old.
I don't know.
Old people don't know because it's... I guess maybe it's a new thing for old people.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Maybe it's
Maybe
just
you're
not
wrong.
called a baby moon. I'm sure people before when they were pregnant went and did like last trips before they were tied down forever.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I loved that Ottawa trip. It was such a awesome, exciting
so
time.
fun.
You were 6 months pregnant and starting to show. It's funny. We thought you were starting to show.
I know, we thought I was so fat.
Then come December, you're a whale that you literally have to like, I had to tie your shoes. I had to roll you off the bed.
I don't miss you tying my shoes. And you like bitched about it too.
I don't miss
Can
all
you
that
tie
shit.
your own shoes?
You know what? I don't
No,
miss
you were good.
any of that shit. Oh, yeah. You're reeling it back. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I had to like roll in bed, couldn't get comfy.
Oh,
I was laughing today
fucking
at
crazy.
lunch. I was with my coworkers and one of them's pregnant, and I was laughing because like December, sitting in my cubicle trying to get comfy in my chair, and I was like making grunting noises, and she yells over the cube, "Are you okay?" Literally,
I remember
no.
you telling me that story.
I could not get comfy ever.
I felt so bad for you, I remember, because like no matter what you did, you couldn't get comfortable. Like you just, everything was a struggle.
Yeah.
From sleeping to eating, you had to like time what time you ate.
Yeah, like we used to eat supper so late, and then we would go to bed at like 11 or something, and my food would be like in my chest.
Yeah. I know, I have a whole like new respect for women after going through that. And the last month is by far the worst. But you definitely had like a positive pregnancy experience, considering like the stories I've heard are nothing like yours.
Yeah, it was really easy.
Puking for the first 4 months or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even think I puked. I think I gagged once or twice.
You puked once, like 4 days before you had Brett.
When?
Or no, at
when I
my
was
Christmas
sick.
party, yeah. You just puked randomly.
Yeah,
That was very weird.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, so your pregnancy was pretty good, all things considered. And then now here we are today. Fast forward. Just one short year. We meet.
Here in a bit.
And now we have a 2-month-old. Yeah, but when Brett was born, that was roughly a year from when we met.
Yeah.
Brett was born December 22nd. And yeah, we started hanging out like mid-end November. And yeah, so in 1 year, we had a child. Honestly, like most people, I think, would look at that story and be like, these fuckers are doomed. There's not a chance it's going to work.
Yeah, like honestly, I used to say that about people all the time.
Yeah, I still say that about people.
Yeah, well, we both do.
Yeah. I think that, like, obviously, like, it's a crazy situation. We hadn't even built a foundation. And
yeah.
Like, you know, we had not, like, we kind of we were just in the honeymoon phase, you know, loving and fucking and, you know, being almost like kids, you know?
Like, literally one of the first times I even met, like, your mom was when we told, like, I think I met your mom, like, 2 times or once before we told her that we were pregnant.
Yeah, I know. It was so crazy. I like, literally the first time you met my grandpa and my grandma, that was when we told them you were pregnant.
That was the first time?
That was the first time you met the Chileans.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was the one I was the most scared of, because they're like just old-fashioned
you were so
Chilenos.
scared.
Yeah, well, they're crazy, but little did I know that they fucking love babies and they don't give a shit. Weirder things have happened in Chile. But I don't know. Before we go any further, let's just get into these questions that people ask me on Instagram, because we're already a half hour in, and I think that these are, like, we got so many good questions that I think they'll answer a lot of where I was going to go with all that. So I'll start. I'm not really going to name any names because there's just so many questions. So I'll just try and pick, like, some of my favorite, and I feel like they'll kind of answer some of the things that I think are important about our situation, because it is a little unconventional, but for us it's been working. So yeah, okay, let's get into the questions. So question number 1.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking grill you. Question number 1: how did you prepare for your pregnancy? Like, books?
Right, well, we went and got, like, a few pregnancy books at the beginning, and I read through them in, like, a week, and literally ever since then I've been Googling everything, which probably, I don't know if that's good or bad.
No,
but
you're a scholar at
Google
University.
University.
Yeah, you are.
But I definitely used Google a lot, especially, like, the last week when we were, like, waiting for me to go into labor, like, every little thing.
Yeah.
Like, does this mean labor? I can't even think of anything, but...
Oh, she wanted to go into labor so bad.
Yeah, I literally tried everything.
Yeah, we had sex, and it was just strange at that point.
Yeah, he was like, I'm scared to poke the baby's head.
Well, no, because, okay, just quickly touch on this story. We had just went to the doctor, and they did what they called a membrane sweep, which is literally where the doctor goes in, fingers the mom, and just gives a couple swirls with her 2 fingers. And the doctor that did it had huge fingers. She was a big doctor. And then that night, Hope was trying to seduce me. She was successful.
Dumb.
You were successful.
Because Google University told me that sex, like, starts labor.
No, it's because I'm outrageously handsome.
Yeah, well,
Tell
that
the
too.
audience the
that
truth.
Too.
But I don't know if you guys have ever had sex with that 8.5-month pregnant person, but I don't care who that 8.5-month pregnant person is. It can be a little It can be an interesting experience, to say the least. Just to paint a quick picture, Hope is currently just breastfed Brett, and now she's burping her. So that's that little squeak you heard. That was Lady Brett. Okay, so how did you prepare like mentally for becoming a mom? Went to prenatal class, I guess.
Yeah, prenatal classes.
That was super helpful. If you're new, awesome. If you're a expecting parent, go to prenatal class. It was I knew all the signs to look for, like the mucus plug and everything.
Mucus plug. So, yeah, he didn't want to see the mucus plug though.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, I sent you pictures of it.
But looking back, that's hilarious because like nothing compares to a head popping out of your
you were like in the prenatal classes. She showed us one video of a baby being born, and he was like gonna pass out.
I literally almost vommed, but it's different when you're in the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like
when you're holding the legs back.
I was ripping your leg back. Like I feel like a football coach. Like push. Oh, it was fucking insane. Okay, so what's the hardest thing physically about post-baby exit? Question number 2. There's a few.
Oh my gosh.
She's
PTSD still. So many things. Like for like the first 2 weeks, you cannot sit down because your hole is just like I don't even know how to explain it. And if you got stitches, that's even worse. You can't sit. I remember that. Baby blues for sure. Another hard thing.
Baby blues are real.
Yeah.
But like I can't imagine how you couldn't get the baby blues after.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially after an experience like yours where Hope's water broke at 5:45 in the morning and she had popped out Brett by like 1:45 or something.
1:57.
1:57. And she was only in active labor for like 45 minutes. So it was fast. And what happens when you have a baby so fast? Sometimes you hemorrhage, which Hope did. And so like when Brett first came out, I was in panic mode because I have this fresh, sticky baby like in my arms. And then beside me is 15 doctors in chaos. And then Hope's, unfolded vagina just gushing blood.
Oh my god.
Sorry, it's radio. I gotta give them a visual.
I guess I said my hole.
Yeah, you said your hole. There's only one thing you can envision when you say hole. So it was really chaotic. I couldn't and then to make it worse, moms like don't get to rest after because the baby needs to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Like I can't imagine not having baby blues. Those were real.
Yeah, it was awful.
But you fucking killed it. What else?
Breastfeeding. I don't know if that counts, but
that can be tough. It was easy for you though. So
no, but like the first bit, like your literally my nips. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And your mom bought me nipple cream, which helped a lot.
Lanolin.
Yeah,
they were some crusty nips for a bit there for sure.
Oh my god.
It's so weird. Time just moves pretty quickly. Like, cause I remember that like it was yesterday. You put lanolin on your nips, and now it's just like you're fucking full blown.
Pull my tit out wherever.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you've been breastfeeding your whole life.
What else?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like one thing is probably just fear of having sex again because it's.
Oh, it's still.
I like imagine being a 23-year-old with just a tight vagina.
Oh my god.
And then all of a sudden it just your whole world gets ripped open.
Gets inside out.
Ripped wide open. I was describing it because I was there, front row seat. I described what I saw as that scene in Jurassic Park where the Newman from Seinfeld, I don't know his actual name, but the scene where he dies and that like little dinosaur like
has like the ears.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Has like the
gills.
Mouth like shoot out wide into like I don't even know. It looks like
an inside out vagina.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I compare it to. So you can watch it. I googled it on YouTube and I found the exact clip so I could show Hope. Yeah, it's tough. Like I think I'm understanding of all the trauma that you've been through and had to like endure. So I'm just patiently waiting. Got the Palm sisters locked and loaded.
Oh my gosh.
They've been saving my life here for the better part of 2 months now. But you know what? Make it work. Okay, next question. Question number 3. Who's the more chill one in the relationship?
Oh,
Ooh,
I don't know.
It's a toughie.
I feel like we're both chill about different things. And then like
Go
you're
on.
a psycho about some things.
Go on.
And I'm not a psycho at all.
Yeah, you're
I'm just kidding.
you're perfect. No, I would say that's pretty accurate. I think that I'm definitely psycho about some things.
Like I'm psycho about Frank doesn't like to vacuum the dog hair because he doesn't care. But I hate it.
Yeah, she fucking.
But then like he's psycho about like me not, I don't even know.
Leaving piles of random things everywhere around the house.
I'll make a pile. Oops.
Oh, little poopies. Oh, yeah, smelly bum.
I'll make a pile and I'm like, okay, this has to go upstairs. Another pile, I'm like, okay, this goes in the living room. And then I just leave them there. But in my head, I know what they are, but he doesn't. He's like, what the fuck is this laying here?
No, but the worst is when I know that you know that something is a pet peeve of mine. It could be anything. It could be...
You have a lot, so...
Yeah, I do have a lot. It sucks.
That's where I think
it plagues me.
I'm more chill because you have way more peeves than I do.
Yes, in household activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. But I feel like you have a serious anger problem that needs to be addressed with professional help. So, no, but I think that like... weirdly enough, I feel like the things that you're chill at and I'm not chill at seem to like not overlap. So it's like there's not too much uptightness in in our day to day.
And if we were both chill about dog hair, we would be swimming in dog hair.
Yeah. Yeah. But like also when something peeves me and you know it peeves me, like for instance that the other day when there was just an empty box in the cupboard, and it was empty.
It was an empty Corona box, and it was Pepsi.
Whatever it was.
You were like, and I knew you knew.
I know that you knew that I knew.
Yeah.
I know. That's what's so infuriating about it.
I was in the living room, and he's like, Hope, and I just laughed because I knew exactly what he was looking at.
But like that shit happens all the time, and that is the worst one. Like I can handle the piles. Well, no, I can't, because you also know that shit fucking irks me, and it's like it takes less time to pick it up than it does to deal with me saying Hope after Hope. I got another question. How do you handle all the opinions?
Your opinions?
Yeah. I'm a fairly opinionated human.
I usually
think
just
everyone
ignore
knows
you.
that. Yeah.
I do such a good job. Like, you piss people off, and sometimes you get to me because, like, you're you, but...
Or because you're having, like, baby blues day, and
You piss me off, yeah. But I'm usually pretty good at just ignoring you.
Yeah, you're the best, actually, for sure. I think that's why we're still here. 1 year later. I keep telling her 5 years of this, though, she'll get annoyed. Okay. Yeah, the person who said, how do you handle all the opinions? They're like, just kidding. But seriously.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of, I feel like it is kind of like that. It's like, I am opinionated, but people kind of know that I do it to evoke things.
Yes.
So, okay, that's a perfect segue into this one. Do you argue when he's intentionally pushing buttons? And does he ever push yours?
So the first part, do I argue when you're pushing my buttons or other people's?
No, do we argue when I go out of my way to push other people's buttons?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
No?
I see your Facebook statuses and it says 84 comments and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to bypass that. Or I comment myself and I get 10 likes on a comment.
Yeah. Yeah, but you literally did it for the likes, but.
Yep, but then what was the last part? Do you push my buttons?
Yeah.
Yes, you try to all the time. All the time.
Doesn't it keep it fun, kind of?
I can't even think of examples. Does it keep it fun a little bit? Otherwise,
what would we talk about? The weather? It keeps it a little fun, I think.
I can't even think of examples of what you do, but like, I just remember you do make me mad, but I don't remember why.
Next question. What attracted you to Dank? And then in brackets his height with a laughing emoji.
Well, we were talking for a while before we actually hung out for the first time, so I didn't know how short you were.
Yeah.
You're not like, I don't notice. Like you're like, are we like the same height?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like an inch bigger maybe.
It's not like a thing. Like people who are bothered by that are cunts. Can't say that.
Yeah, you can say cunts. This is a cunt.
Grandma Terry will be mad.
This is a pro cunt podcast.
Sorry, Terry.
Yeah, Grandma Terry. Yeah, my mom and my grandma, all the Canadian women in my family don't love the C word, but I keep telling them,
it's a nice word.
In our
you like it. In our house, we're allowed to say it.
Yeah, and they're the
Brett's
ones.
first word.
Yeah, probably will be, but they're the ones that like keep telling me about my English heritage. Well, that word is frequented in England, so
that actually reminds me, like a good answer to this question. Actually, I remember one time we were talking and I think I said cunt, I don't know. And you're like, you are my people. And I like literally always remember that.
Really? Yeah.
You're like, no, you said like, I love that you said that. You are my people.
Okay, so going back to that question, because I'm actually curious, what attracted you to me?
I don't know. I just remember when we were talking, like you were just like how you are now, like I don't know what the word is. Very, I don't know, not outgoing. Yeah, outgoing, but that's not the word I'm trying to say.
Charming?
Sure. I don't know.
I'm just gonna tell you why you were attracted to maybe you were attracted to the narcissism.
We like got along very well, even though we just talked over Instagram. But
okay, but what about when we first started hanging out? Like,
I remember the first time we hung out, and you were too scared to drive into my driveway to pick me up.
And we fucked first time.
Yeah, and you made fun of me for that.
Yeah, I did for a little bit. I was like, you know what that usually means. You
and your ballpark made fun of me.
My ballpark. Hope likes to joke and act like I've been with
a ballpark,
an abundance of women. But yeah, we call it a ballpark because
he doesn't.
We don't really know. We don't really know. I tried to chronicle it in an email once to Hope, but I for sure left out
an MSN message. But I don't know, you were like funny and we got along really well, and like it was just easy to talk to you, and I don't know, it just seemed like we had been pals forever. And
was I charming? Was I handsome?
Yes. I don't know. You were just cool.
Was I good in bed?
Yep.
right off the get-go?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I mean, what's she gonna say, right? Okay. Next question. Or how about I answer it for you? What attracted me to you the most? And
Your
I feel
answer's
like
gonna be way better than mine. I'm not good at
it's okay.
cutesy things.
No, it's not cute, really. It's like actually why I was attracted to you, and I think one of the biggest things was I'm like a very difficult personality, I guess, and like I even bother me, so I can't imagine how other people perceive me. And I've kind of struggled in my whole life with women being able to like accept me for just the way that I am, and not just romantically, like not women in my romantic life, but even like my mother, my auntie, like they all have their gripes with the way that I am. You know,
why are you the way that you are?
Yeah, why am I the way that I am? And one thing with you is I feel like you've always just kind of liked me for being that way.
I do like you.
Yeah, I know. But like it's like a very, once you find that, I think, especially because I'm old now and I've like had a ballpark of experiences.
Oh my God.
I feel like that is like something that maybe I was looking for at that point, was just someone to be with who just didn't try and, I guess, mold me into their version of whatever they think I should be or whatever they think their boyfriend should be. And yeah, and I just loved how our sense of humor is just kind of meshed.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like, that was the
that's what I was
biggest
trying
thing.
to get at with the cunt thing. When you're like, you are my people, I was like, okay, someone else thinks cunt is a funny word.
Yeah, we definitely have like pretty much the exact same sense of humor, which is very
Yeah, we actually
not
do.
normal. It's not normal for me because most girls just find me arrogant and like,
Ah, you are.
yeah, I am for sure. I'm not. It sucks. It's a constant battle, but I'm working on myself.
I like you though.
Were you nervous about having a baby with someone you just met? We kind of touched on that.
I wasn't.
You weren't at all. You never thought.
I never had a bad thought about it ever.
Yeah, I can attest to that, I think. And I also think that helped me a lot.
Yeah.
The fact that you were just like, you never had a what if or.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wouldn't let me abort, but.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. Hey, pro-choice podcast. You do what you want with your body. But no, that actually, weirdly, we could talk about that, I think. Weirdly, that wasn't even like a thought, which I feel like if I had just met anyone else and 4 months into a thing, I would probably be like, should we shmort?
I don't think you would.
No?
No.
I think you're wrong.
You say that, but like if you actually got someone pregnant, I don't think you would think that.
Shmort.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
I disagree because like plan B and shit, that shit's...
Yeah.
I don't know. I disagree. I literally don't think. I think the only reason that question never came up was because something in my testes knew that you were going to be the greatest mother of all time. And it's weird because you are, like, the way you've embraced it. Like, every time I see you with Brett, I'm like blown away. It's like in the blink of an eye, you became like a fucking mom. You know, like you're so good with Brett. It honestly boggles my mind. Helps me be a better dad. Okay, so here's a good one. This one I thought was really good. My friend Kiriako, he sent me this on Facebook because he was curious. And I've been thinking about it ever since because it's kind of a profound question. But do you guys fear the future? Do you feel like you are doing so well right now because you never quite got through the honeymoon phase of being a new couple before getting pregnant, and now you've sort of drifted into a second honeymoon phase of having a new baby? A question that I have thought about a lot over the past year.
I don't fear the future. I think like not mentioned in our little like about us speech was like all the hard things we went through, and
which we won't talk about. Maybe in a later episode.
Maybe later.
Yeah, but yeah, we went through some difficult couple stuff, you know.
It was not a nice 2019 until Brett was born.
Yeah, it was.
Oh no, not even that. Like
it was tough. We had a few very, 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 very the most difficult months of my life. Okay, go ahead.
I think like we've went through lots of things that lots of people don't go through until they're like deep into their relationship.
Even then, sometimes not.
Yeah, some people never do, which like obviously that's a good thing, but
yeah,
I feel like we're like prepared to deal with hard things, whatever comes our way.
Yeah, but you never think about the future and are worried that, I don't know. Like if you look at if we looked at us is a good way to put it, because we're the first people who would be like that fucking couple who just met and had a kid.
Yeah.
Not gonna last. I'll bet you $100 they're done by January.
I bet people think that about us all the time.
Yeah, of course. Although I do think we probably, I don't know, you're like the star of my Instagram stories, you and Brett, and like, I don't know, I don't feel like I actually don't feel like when I post things about our family that they're the best parts of our day. I feel like they're just parts of our day.
Yeah.
Which is like interesting.
I don't see them, but
well, I show you them.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just how our days are for the most part. Like fun, like we don't argue. And I've thought about this question a lot over the year because like
Yeah.
it's hard. It's very hard not to think about the future. And when we were kind of going through our issues and sorting things out between us, I kind of like learned how to sort of look inward.
Not like look to the future, look like what you can do.
Yeah, what
know?
you can do right now. And I spent a lot of time, like, for like, during Hope's pregnancy, I was like touting the book, The Power of Now, because I feel like it really helped pull me out of like a dark slump of like, if you anticipate the future too much, all the future really causes is like anxiety and fear. And the past kind of feels painful. So I feel like the now is kind of where I learned how to sort of, I'm not always living in the present moment, but I'm always thinking about living in the present moment, which I think it helps me do that. And with Brett early on in her newborn phase, it was tough, you know, and I feel like had I been thinking about the future of what it was going to be like being a dad the whole time, I would have just been depressed and in a negative space about like, holy fuck, this is hard. Whereas the whole time I was just like, it's like I'm not really sleeping now, but it's fine. Like I'm alive. I love
Everything's
her.
fine.
Yeah. We were like zombies for.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah. But it's crazy how fast you learn. Like you literally seem like a professional mom to me now. I'm serious. Like you just seem like you're a mom. It's so fucking weird. Because like a year ago you seemed like a sexy little. So
I'm just a fat, ugly mom now?
No, definitely not. If anything,
A year ago you were sexy, but now you're just a mom.
No. I looked at you as like a piece of meat. But now, but now it's like, oh fuck, you're like at least 3 times sexier than you were then.
You have to say
me.
that because I just called you out.
I don't have to say that. I do not. I literally. Sometimes I get boners just by touching your hair.
Oh,
so okay, sorry, I know.
God.
All right, a little too much. All right, this is the man you had a baby with.
Yep.
Can't be surprised. Okay, last question, and then we'll wrap this up because we're getting close to an hour here. But aside from the baby, why do you think that your guys' relationship works? Your relationship works?
I kind of answered that, kind of.
No, you answered why you were attracted to me.
Why does our relationship work?
Yes.
Well, we kind of talked about that. Like, I just ignore you when you're being dumb. And eventually you're like, okay, I'm sorry for being dumb. And I go, yeah, I know.
That literally is how.
Yeah.
But like, why do you act like you're just perfect? That's what I
am.
need to know.
I'm not. But
okay, so tell me about your flaws.
I have lots.
Like?
I'll leave an empty Pepsi box in the cupboard.
That's not such a bad flaw. Tell me about your flaws. Because I'm just dumb all the time and I'm
you're good.
That's the biggest struggle for me is I spend most of my time talking about Hope in this positive light, celebrating her, and most of her... like most of the people in my life, most of the time they spend talking about me is just how shitty of a human I am.
You're not shitty.
All the bad things and never acknowledge the good or how much I've changed.
Our relationship works because we both know when each other's being dumb, and we like kind of just we call each other out or we make it like we just deal with it. But we both think cunt is funny. And that's all. That's why. That
is a very limited take on. It's not exactly what I would say.
No. It works because we love each other. And you're my best friend.
But I don't feel like love is all you need.
No, it's not. And we know that.
Yeah, but like that's what you just said. Was, I love you. So
yeah,
that's why
all.
it works.
Works because I love you.
I love you and you say cunt.
And you make me coffee in the morning.
I mean, that could be just a product of the honeymoon phase. That's probably not going to last forever. So don't get too comfortable with that. But I think that we work because, like, I think that in relationships, and I'm not saying we're in, like, this long-term relationship because it's only been a year, but I think in a lot of relationships, when you cohabitate and you're with each other 24/7 and, like, you literally live with them, I feel like a lot of it eventually can turn into like a game of one-upping each other. Like, I don't know, I did this, so you need to do this. Like,
Yeah, we kind of like, okay, I'll clean the kitchen, you feed the dogs and let them out, and then we'll meet upstairs.
well, the thing is we both just help and we don't expect anything.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I will fucking come home from work. I'd woken up at 5 a.m. I'll come home from work. I'll cook dinner. I'll do the dishes just so you can kind of feel chill.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, it's just like a way that I can help.
Yeah.
And you do the same exact things. Like, you'll always tell me to go do something if you could tell that I need to, and you let me do the podcast, and like you let me do photography. And I say let's.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like I have you on a leash.
Yeah, but in lots of situations, I feel like that's very normal. Like, the wife is right, you know, like happy wife, happy life. And I feel like with you and with us, it's like we let each other kind of do our things, the things that we need to do to get through our day. And we don't suppress each other from doing what makes us happy. And then we never one up each other. We never like, there's no competition. And sometimes we'll jokingly make it a competition, but I've never felt it
No, me neither.
Never felt it be like a serious thing. And so like we literally just don't fight. It's
we never.
It's so weird.
Sometimes when we're like grumpy, we just are grumpy, but we never actually fight.
It's so weird because like I've lived in Latin America, and I feel like that's all they do in Latin America is just fight. And then all my other girlfriends, I was like a smaller kid, so like all the insecurities that come with being super young, all you do is fight with your girlfriend. So I've never just been in a situation where it's just like we fucking hang every day and we chill. We're drinking beer, feeding babies, doing the pod. We got our dogs in here. Like,
is Sophie in here?
Who cares? She's probably in the dumpster. Little rat. Okay, so that about wraps it up. I wanted to just kind of get Hope on here because I know that a lot of people who listen to Elevators and who listen to daddyDANK have wanted to hear from Hope's mouth because they're used to getting my side of the story.
Yeah.
So I hope you got a little bit of that. At least you got to hear her voice, hear Brett's voice on her tot.
Yeah, she's still on the boob.
Yeah, she's been really good though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. But I want to thank everybody for listening. Hope will kind of be on and off the podcast, I'm sure, throughout.
Whenever he runs out of interesting guests, I'll be here.
No, not just that. I think it's kind of cool having like a woman's take on the podcast every now and then. It's nice.
We've had
every now and
girls
then,
on.
though. Only when the man says that the woman can come on the podcast can she come on.
When I'm done cooking dinner.
Yeah, after you're done cooking and folding the laundry, you can come, maybe hang out, but you gotta sit on the floor. Just kidding.
People must hate you.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. I'm not. They're not listening to this podcast because I'm likable. Let's just say that.
I like you.
I know. Thank God. If you're gone, I'm gonna be extremely alone. So, thank you all for listening. You can follow me on Instagram at dankaroundtheworld, and also, these questions are fun and we like to do them. But there's you guys can leave me a voice question, and I feel like that would be way more fun. So click the link in my bio on Instagram, and you can leave me a voice question. So whenever I have guests and I reach out for questions, you can do that. I think that would be way cooler. So
it like goes on the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like they can leave me a voicemail.
Cool.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
That's just pretty neat.
That's just darned neat. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great week, and we will be back next week. Alrighty.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.